Meanwhile, while we wait for more details about the National Guard coming to Memphis, we're hearing plenty of reaction from both sides of the political aisle. To get their perspective, in studio with me today, we have Pastor Keith Norman, the former chairman of the Shelby County Democratic Party, and Republican State Representative Brent Taylor of Memphis, who joins us by Zoom tonight. He was, of course, one of the first to post about the need for the National Guard to come to Memphis. And so we start with you tonight, Senator Taylor, your reaction to the president actually sending the troops and to critics saying this is more about politics than public safety.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm glad to be with my friend Pastor Keith Norman. I will say that I personally, for me and my constituents, I'm as happy as a fat man at a Golden Corral that the National Guard is going to be here in Memphis. You know, I've worked hard to make Memphis matter, and in order to make Memphis matter, we have to make Memphis safer. And so I am glad to say that making Memphis matter has been a team sport. It's included the mayor, and it's included the governor, and it's included Senator Blackburn, and now it includes the President of the United States with his announcement he sent in the National Guard to Memphis. I think it'll be a welcome relief, and you can't argue with success that we've seen in Washington, D.C. when he deployed them there.
All right, thank you. Now let's turn to Pastor Keith Norman. Now, you kind of have a different take on this. We heard from the mayor today, and he said the president's characterization that this was that he was happy about doing this was not exactly how he would characterize it, but yet he did not come out and say we don't want the troops here.
It is a strong mischaracterization, and we know this to be a tool that this president has used in his first administration as well as his second administration. And when he says something long enough, it seems to become the truth, or it's embedded in people's mind. I'd like to first of all thank my colleague for calling me a friend, and we are friends, but we vehemently disagree on the posturing of how this has taken place. I think the first steps that we really overlooked was to have intervention and to put the proper resources in a space where poverty seems to reign. We're bringing the National Guard into this community. We're going to spend an overabundant amount of resources without having really helped the citizens. And then when you pull them out in 30 or 60 days, then what? We're going to be right back in the same place where we started. So I think my colleague, although he is right there in the state Senate, we could have taken many other measures. We could have taken some of the guns off the streets by some of the laws that were written by our state legislature, and we can tone down the rhetoric. He even used the word happy. We are not happy about this. No citizen of Memphis is happy. Some may have different feelings about this. Some may have relief, or some may have their concerns being addressed. But you can't be happy about this, because this says something pretty bad about all of our spaces. And it's not just about Memphis. It's about Shelby County and the region and all of us who live here.
So, Senator Taylor, what does success look like coming out of this after the National Guard has had some time in Memphis?
Well, Pastor Norman said that he's not happy. And I will tell you, Memphians are not happy. They're not happy about the level of crime that exists in Memphis. They're not happy about not being able to enjoy their homes. They're not happy about not being able to go shop in stores and eat in our restaurants. That's what they're not happy about. Many of my constituents that I've heard from today, they are happy that the president has ordered that the National Guard would come here. Now, in terms of what the success looks like, obviously, I would like to see the same level of success that we saw in Washington, D.C. I don't know that they still haven't had a murder up there since the National Guard was deployed in D.C. I know they went 2 or 3 weeks without a murder, maybe longer. If we could get that, I would call that a success. But I understand, though, Pastor Norman's concern about what do you do when the National Guard leaves if you haven't fixed the underlying issues that drive much of our crime. But look, we don't have time to try to bring the crime rate down by addressing the poverty level and trying to get people through school and where they can get the proper jobs. That will take 10, 15 years, a generation to fix. We have an acute crime problem right
But we
now.
want to give Pastor Norman real quickly one chance to rebut that.
There are no goals. You asked what would success look like? There cannot be success when there are no measurable goals put in place. One of the things that C.J. Davis has said that I commend, we need a memorandum of understanding. We need interjurisdictional agreement so that we have someone sitting at the table who can communicate to this community how to respond. We need to put the metrics in place so people can really know how to navigate. Multi-layers of law enforcement all converging in one space will create chaos.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us tonight. Protection, overreach, Memphis will decide in the coming weeks.